You're listening to How I Met Your Monster, a podcast that explores the introductions to your favorite movie monsters. My name's Zach.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Casey.
And together we dive into the world of horror to find out how filmmakers have introduced us to our favorite monsters time and time again. This is How I Met Your Monster.
Box. You opened it. We came.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left.
Explorers in the further regions of experience. Demons to some, angels to others.
Call you meatloaf? Surprise, Sydney.
Welcome to How I Met Your Monster, the show where we discuss the introductions to your favorite movie monsters. If you're not already subscribed to the show, find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you find your podcasts. And today we have a very special guest. Casey, would you like to introduce our guest today?
We got a special guest today. She's my best friend. She's a musician, a cosplayer, and funny woman extraordinaire. It's Brooke Surgener.
Oh, stop
No.
it. I thought you were going to say Sturringer or something like
Sturgener. Brooke
that.
Surgener. Brooke Surgener.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me back.
So, Brooke, you have...
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. You joined us for our Texas Chainsaw Massacre episode, our Leatherface episode, which was a lot of fun. So, Brooke, do you have anything going on right now, project-wise? Like, you're a musician. I almost said magician, which would have been a little different.
Just in a different way.
A musician.
She's not a typical musician.
Wait, are you a magician?
No, I'm not at all. No.
Oh, man. I think you should learn. You should
just
learn
like
something
to make like my stage friends. Magician/musician.
Yeah.
Brooke Surgener. People
But
come
then,
from that.
like, you can really get people with, sometimes you have a problem when people aren't paying attention to you while you're playing.
Yeah,
If you pulled a rabbit out of a hat, get them.
that's
Oh,
true.
I thought you were going to say you can make them disappear.
You could
I was
make them
like-
disappear.
That could be the new thing. I don't know anybody who
That's,
does
criminal.
that. So that'd be a
Are you
nice
writing that down?
niche.
Writing that
Writing
down.
it down right now. Mhm.
Learn magic.
Learn magic. I couldn't even in school. I couldn't even do that like thing where you fold like the cards and you'd make it all like fold very nicely at the bridge.
Yeah.
And I was so mad I couldn't do that. No, so I have a new song coming out. Last year I put out an album, and I know the last time we talked about this, I hadn't really done a lot of podcasts, and I was like very nervous talking about my music. I don't know why. And so I put out an album last year called Moon Waves, but I'm putting out a new single. It's called Burnout. Really excited about it. And it's just about probably what you guys are doing every single day, burning yourself out. Really excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, besides
Sure.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. But other than that, I'm just chilling with you guys tonight.
Just chilling. Just watching a movie.
Maybe we'll inspire a new song, and I don't know what it would be.
Ice
About
cream?
ice
Failed
cream.
advertisements. Ice cream.
Melted.
Okay. Since we're talking about melted
Delicious.
ice cream, I know we haven't really introduced the movie yet, but why was all the ice cream in this movie melted?
Because it's gross.
Because he's crazy
Yeah.
and weird.
They kept saying like, I want a hard pack. And like, I didn't know what
I
that
assume that it's
fucking
hard
was.
ice cream.
A hard
They
pack.
push pops.
Yeah. And then they'd give it to him and it would just be like,
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
well,
dripping
it's
and
just
wet
gross.
and-
It made you more uncomfortable than regular hard ice cream would have, right?
Yeah.
Especially when
Yeah.
he was like handing it to like the policeman at one point, and there's just like, I'm like, why would you take that? It's just like all over his hands.
Listen, I have so many questions.
So
I think the
many.
rules of this
The
movie's-
first minute I had a question, and I'm waiting for you guys to point it out.
Yeah.
So
Don't.
we'll get there.
I think
Okay.
first of
We'll
all,
go
we have
through
to
it all.
embrace the fact that like the rules of this movie's universe just accept and allow things like that as normal, like melted ice cream on your hand. Like that's just normal in this
whatever.
world. So you just have to move on because
Yep.
I think if we tried to rationalize 90% of this movie,
Well, we're gonna try.
this would be like a 5-part episode.
Right.
We're trying
Yeah, we will try.
because I've
We
got
will.
a lot.
So
Casey's got thoughts.
So this is part 2. This is our second feature in our Hunger Pains triple feature. Casey, this was your pick. What movie are we watching? What movie did we watch? What are we referring to?
We're talking about Ice Cream Man.
I feel responsible for this, though. I feel like people shouldn't listen to me when I say
no.
watch this.
First of all,
wait, this was you recommended this to Casey?
She said a while ago, if I'm ever on the show again, I want to cover this movie. She hadn't seen it though.
Did I say that? I thought I said you should cover it.
No, you said I want to be a guest. Yeah. But what I will say is I absolutely love this movie. I did. It was terrible, but I loved it. All right. So
there were some things I did like. So okay.
We are talking about Ice Cream Man, 1995, directed by Norman Epstein. And poor Gregory. Poor Gregory.
Oh.
After being released from the Wishing Well Sanatorium, all he wants to do is make children happy. So Gregory reopens the old ice cream factory, and all the unappreciative brats are reprocessed into flavor of the day.
Were they?
No.
Yeah.
Another thing that I was confused about.
But like later, he did grind up that one lady.
No, he didn't grind her up. He put her in a vat of acid. She just disintegrated.
Yeah.
Because then he pulled out her fucking diaphragm.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, why? Because I thought he like ground her up into whatever to like dust. And I was like, why did that not get destroyed?
No, he just disintegrated her in acid.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, that's a strong diaphragm. I don't know.
Yeah. That acid melts human flesh and bone.
Not diaphragm.
But that lady condom, nope.
I mean, that's good contraception.
Yeah, it is. Sperm's not getting through that fucking thing.
Yeah, it's a good selling point.
Can withstand acid sperm.
Have any of you seen this? Is this everybody's first time watching?
I had only seen the first half of it when Joe Bob showed it during one of his episodes, and I just I didn't finish. But yeah, I actually did not remember the movie until it started, and then I was like, oh, this movie. And I'm just like, yeah. It's interesting.
I'm sure I had rented it as a kid. So basically it was a first time watch for me.
Oh, okay. Brooke?
No, I was just like, so it's Clint Howard, who is Ron Howard's brother.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And all I could think of is him in Adam Sandler movies being like, I'm not what you call a handsome man. Is that Waterboy that he's in? And for some reason, has he been in other Adam Sandler movies? Or just that one? I just feel like Adam Sandler has like reoccurring characters.
I don't know.
Yeah, he usually
I saw.
He seems like someone who would have.
Yeah, he seemed like the same character in this movie, honestly. I feel like he's like a one-show pony, and he's like, I know what I got.
You know,
but
what I didn't understand, obviously there's a dozen things that I didn't understand, but one of the main things that I thought was very weird is that Clint Howard's voice, his regular voice, is more like a creepy mental ice cream man than whatever he was trying to do in this movie.
Totally.
I was like, why did you like deepen? He deepened it and tried to make it raspier when his regular voice is like, I'm a little freaking dork. Like, I'm going to sell you some ice cream.
Is that actually how he talks?
His famous catchphrase.
He has like a high, like weird, like creepy voice.
Yeah, that would. Because it sounds like he's trying to.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's like I'm gonna be creepier.
I mean, he's perfect for the role, though. Like,
yeah, he was.
And Clint Howard always seems very game to play a character who doesn't really need to make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
I think his commitment kind of helps. So I can't think of anyone else who could have done this role in this particular movie. So for that, I definitely give him credit.
So I will excite you guys here for a minute.
Is Clint Howard here? Is he here?
Is he here?
Another guest.
Hey, Clint.
Zach's been Clint Howard this whole time.
Clint Howard and the director of this movie, Norman Epstein, are currently trying to get Ice Cream Man 2 into production.
What?
Mm-hmm. Which is just titled Ice Cream Man again, which is strange.
Enough people didn't watch the first one, so it doesn't matter.
It'll be like Halloween 2018.
Yeah. Ice Cream Man 2023.
But
2018.
Oddly enough, Norman Epstein is not his real name.
What is it?
Okay. So he was born Paul Norman. Okay.
Small Paul?
Wait, hold on. He was born Paul Norman.
Small Paul.
And he was a porn director.
Oh.
And this was his first movie outside of porn.
Oh.
This wasn't porn?
And
in a way.
He got some good cream shots, right?
He knows how to get them. He sure does.
Cream shots.
It's like his first movie. His first movie out has to have some connection to the porn. Where he's like, I just can't do it. I gotta have something with cream in the title. But his name is Paul Norman. His alias is Norman Epstein.
Well, he didn't hide it very well. It's all over the internet.
Yeah.
Right?
We know.
It's the first thing we talk about when we talk about him. It's his background in porn.
Let's see what porn films he directed. What's his name? Paul Norman?
Mm-hmm.
We always leave Casey's our control, like our computer programmer who does all the dirty work.
I like the sound effects.
He made a series called Bi and Beyond.
Ooh.
Like
bisexual pornography. Yeah.
Oh. Interesting.
Bad Girls 5, Bad Girls 6, Bedlam, Bi and Beyond.
That's in the Bad Boys universe.
Bi-coastal, The Big Switch, The Big Tease.
Really into bisexual?
Man.
Yeah.
Boneheads.
And very like on the nose titles.
Yeah.
Boneheads could be a alternate title to Biodome.
He made Edward Penis Hands.
Oh, I wish we could watch it. Oh my god, I feel like I've seen that though.
So I've never seen it. Is it?
I feel like you just.
Are they dildos?
No, Brooke, that was the little spermaid.
That we did see. That was so uncomfortable. That was how we spent a 4th of July.
4th of July, we watched the little spermaid.
The little spermaid.
And Jurassic Cocks. And what I want you to know about that is that it doesn't have anything to do with dinosaurs. It's older men, like they were born in the Jurassic period. Okay? So don't rent that one, guys, unless you want to see Ron Jeremy now.
No, it's okay. I feel like I was curious about Ron Jeremy. Yeah. Like on VH1 when like he was like, I don't know, blowing up again after.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we saw it. And
and you got to see him. You got.
Wait, is Ron Jeremy Edward Penis Hands?
No, Jurassic.
No, he was in Jurassic Cocks.
Oh,
he's bad. It was so hard
mistake.
to see. It was hard to see. Sorry.
Hard.
So Danny, I want to go back to your question for a second.
Yeah.
Does Edward Penis Hands? Is it just all his fingers are penises?
Yes.
It needs to be.
How do they show that on screen?
Well, Google it.
Are they dildos or are they fake? Or do they like kind of
real penis?
Oh my god. The picture.
Oh my god. Okay.
The picture for the cover.
Edward Penis Hands.
Casey.
Do Edward Penis Hands part 2 because the cover for part 2 is funnier.
I'm gonna look at my phone.
Okay.
Oh, it's just one giant dick on each of them.
I gotta go to incognito window, so it does not keep us.
Because you're at work.
Oh.
Many reasons. Wait, which one should I look up?
Oh my gosh.
Edward Penis Hands part 2.
It just looks like he's in The Cure.
Yes, he does. But I mean, that's kind of what Edward Scissorhands looked like anyway.
That's a fair point.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, there's a picture of his penis.
Whoa.
Brooke, I'm so sorry that we're doing this.
Whoa.
We have our first guest on in a while, and we just go full.
Shh. She's fine.
Oh my god. Ew.
The picture I got shows him like crying. Do you see that? Like him
I have one where he's
looking at
twirling
it.
spaghetti with his penis.
Yes, he's looking at his penis hands crossing, and it looks like he's crying.
Yes. And it says, "My ass itches," and then he's just crying.
Oh, somebody made a meme out of that. Oh, I see the spaghetti one.
I see the spaghetti.
Oh my god. Wow.
This is what they need to show kids in school when they're trying to be like, don't have sex or you'll die. Like, to show them
This is what happens.
This is what happens.
You'll get penis hands.
You know what else is funny? The head of his penis, I thought, was a meatball. All right.
Anyways.
Ice cream.
Anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my God.
Paul Norman Epstein.
Yeah, Paul Norman. Paul Norman made Edward Penis Hands, everybody.
So since we're talking about the creative team behind Ice Cream Man.
The cream team?
This is just gonna keep going like this this whole time.
It was written by David Dobkin, who ended up directing Wedding Crashers.
Wow.
Oh my God, he wrote Edward Penis Hands. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
sorry.
No, he directed Shanghai Nights and Wedding Crashers.
Wow.
The guy who wrote this movie.
It's nothing compared to Edward Penis Hands, but.
Okay, so our monster today is Gregory Tudor. Tudor. And played by Clint Howard. So should we get into Ice Cream Man? Are you guys ready to meet the titular Ice Cream Man?
The titular.
Gregory Tudor?
I had my dinner. I'm ready for dessert. And I hear that ice cream truck coming around the corner.
You hear it.
Oh, do you guys have ice cream trucks still that come around your neighborhood?
No.
Not around here.
We used to have the Swans Man. Do you know what I'm talking about?
But he would even bring you like fucking lasagna.
Oh, yeah. But we got push
He
pops.
didn't just have ice cream. Yeah.
But nope.
Yeah, we have an ice cream truck that goes around. I think it's like a van.
I don't even know if ice cream trucks go around the city. Because I don't. That's probably why we don't hear them around here.
I wonder why they wouldn't, though. Isn't that a great place?
I'm just thinking of like where they would stop.
You just drive until you see kids and then you stop.
That's
get them in your van.
Yeah, that's what.
To sell them ice cream, Zach.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up because I have not heard an ice cream truck in quite a while, and frankly, that worries me.
Yeah. It should worry
you guys have heard what goes around my town.
Yeah.
Just motorcycles and dirt bikes.
The ice cream truck avoids your town.
All the time.
But no, I hear one every once in a while in the neighborhood.
I have one question for you, just a follow-up of that one, Zach. Have you ever seen an ice cream man gunned down by two men in a speeding car?
By the mafia. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is interesting. Not interesting necessarily, but I had this thought that, do you guys know who Richard Kuklinski was?
No.
He was the Iceman.
The Iceman.
You guys don't know who that is?
As in like Ice Cream Man?
No, Iceman. He was part of the mob or the mafia or something like that. He killed like hundreds of people for them.
Okay.
And he befriended another guy.
Didn't they make a movie about that?
Yes. With.
Is it John Cusack?
No.
The
Iceman Cometh?
Are you thinking of Frozen Ground?
Yes.
I'm thinking of Frozen.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
No, it was. Why can't I remember who it is? Anyway, he killed a guy, another mob guy who drove an ice cream truck.
Really?
All of that, like, I don't know what the motivation was for him, but I also don't know the motivation for this kill. And I feel like there's a whole story that they could have unpacked a little bit in this movie.
Do you think that was like, yeah, that's why I was just like, were they just killing a guy randomly? Or is it because that guy was killing kids and so somebody came and gunned him down?
I didn't even think of it that way.
If you see later in the movie, there's like that newspaper article, and it says that he was gunned down in a drug-related drive-by.
Maybe he sold drugs.
So he was selling drugs. So he was like Big Worm in Friday.
Okay. So this is like this ice cream truck is sort of like its own contained crime syndicate.
Yes.
So it just keeps getting, the crimes just keep getting worse. So like we went from drug dealing to murdering. So maybe before that there was like petty burglary, and then maybe an Ice Cream Man 2. What's worse than killing people? Eating them? I guess he doesn't eat them.
Well, we talked about this in our Innocence episode. Necrophilia is pretty up there.
Yeah.
So the sequel is all about necrophilia.
Well, this just got dark.
Well, that would make sense since the director used to direct porn. It's kind of an easy fit to sort of combine all of his all of those elements.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant to be. Writes itself, basically.
Okay, let's meet the Ice Cream Man.
Let's do it.
Gregory Tudor right out of the gate on this movie when in a flashback scene.
We know that because it's in black and white.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the go-to way so they don't have to explain it to us.
Uh-huh.
But as we just mentioned, the ice cream man is gunned down in a drug-related drive-by, and Gregory is there only concerned about his push pop.
Yeah.
What does he say? He says, who's going to give me my ice cream now, Mom?
Yeah. Who's going to give me my ice cream?
Probably would feel the same way.
Yeah.
So are we to believe that he's just scarred? It's just this moment just kind of imprinted on him?
That's what I got.
Do you think it was this moment that like just set him off? Or?
That's what I'm getting. The fact that he reveres the ice cream king so highly makes me think that maybe he was fucked up, and maybe the ice cream man, the original one, was sort of like, I don't know, like his safe haven. Maybe he looked forward to going out to get ice cream to escape his dark life. And then once that was gone, it was like, I'm out. Like,
So is it,
Danny, you should have wrote the ice cream.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Thank you.
So he was scarred from the incident, and then his parents put him into like therapy or went to a doctor, and then that's when they started abusing him. Kind of.
Yeah. So the great thing about this movie is that they, even in the 90s, they were acknowledging that people needed therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But to that point, okay, I'm glad you said that, because I was wondering, because the doctor of that, spoiler alert, but the doctor of that hospital has like his own issues.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, no, because we see Gregory like clearly scarred from the incident, like right away. But then is the doctor sort of reinforcing his patients, like their issues and episodes, or is he making them like evil? Because he does the whole like needle to the head.
I don't know. So many questions.
Great question, Danny.
Thank you.
Great question.
Thank you.
Yeah, when we get to there, I feel like it felt like a cult in some way.
Oh, it was.
It was.
I have a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then we jump forward to present day, and we see Gregory as an adult, and he's driving the ice cream truck, but now he is the ice cream prince.
Yeah.
He is not the ice cream king. He's the ice cream prince. And right off the bat, we see inside his truck, and you already see that he's fucked up because there is roaches in the fucking ice cream. There's mice in the ice cream.
Mice. Those are just little white
mice.
pet mice.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
And it's just, the fucking roaches. And we need to talk about another monster. I know that Gregory is really the only monster in this movie, and we'll get to our real monster section. But can we talk about the monster that is Tuna?
Wait, you think Tuna's a monster?
And exactly,
he's just a kid in a fat suit. Like,
yeah, why is Tuna a monster?
I go one step further and say he's a kid with a pillow under his shirt.
And that is exactly my point, is that he just had a pillow under his shirt that kept shifting.
Sometimes he didn't.
And moving. Exactly.
Sometimes he did not have the pillow.
He lost the pillow.
At the end, he didn't. Yeah. He lost it at the end. I had a thought, though. Like, think about when people do, like, cast these things and you're, like, chosen as, like, fat kid number 3. Like, that sucks, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they picked some really attractive looking little kids. Mm-hmm. And that sounds so weird. I'm so sorry. I wish I could take that back.
Isolate that audio. Isolate that audio.
No, we know what you mean. We know what you mean.
Yeah, they were cute kids. And and I don't know if they just were like, let's just put him in a fat suit so we don't have to cast a kid.
Because he lost it at the end. So
he did,
but like there was no point in that.
Yeah.
They didn't need to address it at all. I mean,
it goes back to the filmmakers in general. Like, don't even put it. And it's the same thing with that bums me out about the Monster Squad, which is one of my favorite movies. That the nickname, I mean, mind you, it's meant to be, they're teasing Horace's character, they're calling him Fat Kid. Yeah. And then he kind of has his kind of moment.
His moment at the end.
But like irrelevant. And then it just keeps adding more issues that are so avoidable. Like, why did they cast him? Why did they not go all in on the effects? Why even give him the name? Just give him if you want to tease him, give him a nickname that's appropriate to the actor that you cast.
Well, trust me, the one kid's brother felt just the same as you. He hated the name Tuna.
Oh my god.
Well, his last name is his last name is also Casera. So it's like Tuna Casera, Tuna Casserole.
Whoa.
Wait, was that his actual name? Was Tuna? That was his name.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a nickname.
His nickname was Tuna.
No, it was his real name.
Tuna.
No, he has a name.
Does he? Because the brother was like, "Why would they name their kid Tuna?" And then it was funny.
Bumblebee.
Yeah. Bumblebee Tuna. Bumblebee Tuna.
No, and I should have written it down, but he did have a first name, a real first name.
Oh, Tuna.
But yeah, so I was thinking like, okay, maybe there's a part that's going to happen in the movie where like the ice cream man does something and he has to be a fat kid for some reason. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't until the very end that he just had his slim figure. It's just like no pillow under there. And the kid points to it and he's like, huh?
Nice.
Good job there. And he's like, yeah, thanks.
I missed so many of these little details. What? I'm so sorry.
His name on here is just Tuna.
But in the movie, they say something else.
Okay.
Right. Like that's his name.
But
you thought he was like a monster in a way?
I just wrote down Tuna's a freak. Like with the ice cream when he drops the creamsicle in the sand.
Tuna's a freak.
Listen, I dropped a cake pop on a truck stop floor.
No, Casey.
No,
and then you promptly threw it away.
Casey, don't try. Don't try.
No.
End of story. You promptly threw it away.
No. I paid like $3 for it.
Yeah, but then you paid your soul with your decisions that you made afterwards.
Guys, it was like 3 years ago. I'm fine.
You must have really wanted
Tuna
that.
himself is not a monster, but his fat suit costume is a monster.
Agreed.
Yes. Yes.
And then we had Macaulay Culkin from My Girl.
Yeah. So
right?
No.
That's what I was wondering too. I was like, he's so Macaulay Culkin in this movie. It's crazy. And it makes me wonder if they did that on purpose as like a marketing thing. Because he's also on one of the posters.
Yeah.
This is
so people are like, Macaulay Culkin was in that movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta go see it.
This is a year after he was in like Richie Rich and what else?
Oh, really?
Page Master may have been like right before because this was 95.
Oh my God, Page Master.
I know. But same look though. Same. And it made me wonder. I was like, I wonder if they're just like, if we could trick a few people into thinking
that's what I thought.
Macaulay Culkin were in good shape.
No, I think you're spot on.
I'd trick anyone and they were not in good shape because the movie was a flop.
Excuse me?
I mean that in the best way possible.
It was a lot of fun though.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was as fun as melted ice cream on a hot day.
I had a pumpkin pie blizzard yesterday.
Did it fall on the truck stop floor and you pick it up and eat it?
It's like I found this on the ground.
Yeah. I'm not ashamed.
Casey.
But yes, I did it on purpose.
You did it to celebrate the movie?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I did have a question though, and please tell me if I missed something. At any point in this movie, aside from the time that they explicitly state this in like the final act, do they ever refer to themselves as the Rocketeers? Or is that just like a name that they give themselves that we're supposed to be aware of?
They talk about it at least like 3 times.
Oh, do they?
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Well, yeah, because one time fucking Small Paul is kidnapped. They think he's dead. And they talk to this other kid and they're like, well, there may just be an opening in the Rocketeers. Like really just like casually. And I was like, oh my God, like your friend just got murdered by an ice cream truck driver.
He's dead?
And you're like, well, we need to fill a spot.
But you're not, unfortunately, you're not attractive enough to join us.
Sorry.
Kind of find somebody else.
I like the friendship group though. I will say that for the movie being so, what it was, I thought that I thought the kids were better actors than the adults. And
no, they were.
Hands down.
Sure.
And I enjoyed their chemistry.
I liked that they didn't like turn on each other. They were all just like supportive. And like Tuna had like this encounter with the ice cream man and the other kids are like, Tuna, like, I know you've had a harder time than we have with this, but we got to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was like, oh shit, like these kids got each other's back. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
God bless them.
It was cute.
Everyone.
And then we're introduced to Nurse Wharton, who is Olivia Hussey.
Olivia Hussey, who we've talked about quite a bit on this podcast, because she's kind of sprinkled her way into a lot of random horror movies over the years.
Yeah, Black Christmas. And my first exposure to her was in the 1990s It miniseries.
That's right. Yes.
Did she play Beverly?
That's where I first saw her. No, she played she was Bill's wife when they get older.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking that Ice Cream Man came out last year. So I was like thinking of her, in 91, she must have been like 10.
Oh, like a kid. Yeah.
Speaking of when it came out, Ice Cream Man, this movie reminds me of the kind of movie that would have come out in like the early to mid 80s. So when I saw that it was 95, I mean, it makes sense just like based off like clothes and everything. And yeah, it kind of threw me for a loop. I do wonder if it was shot a few years earlier and it was on hold because remember when we were talking about the music and sort of the aesthetic that's in Child's Play 2 and Basket Case 2 and 3. That sort of funhouse horror look. I got a similar vibe from this one. And I feel like that aesthetic, like that style, kind of just like existed in that very small range of like 1990 to 1992. Okay. So I just wondered if because the movie seems so cheap and low budget that maybe it took them a little while to get it put out into the world.
Yeah.
Guess we'll never know.
Yeah, there's a lot of poo-pooing on this movie. I liked it because it was a lot of fun, but honestly, my favorite part about this movie is probably the music. It like
really?
Yeah, it was like orchestral with like
it was, yeah.
It was very Children of the Corn, but because of that, it really did not fit this movie at all.
Oh, I guess I keep thinking of when they do his theme.
No,
that's sort of like the ice cream.
A lot of the music was like really orchestral with like a choir and like stuff like that, Children of the Corn, and it didn't fit with this movie at all. But I liked it.
I thought this would be a very good double feature with Dr. Giggles.
I've never seen it.
Was he in that? No, he was in The Dentist.
No,
or the second Dentist or something. Yeah.
Okay.
I've never seen Dr.
Yeah,
Giggles.
I thought Ice Cream Man and Dr. Giggles would make a good double feature. Anyways,
what is Dr. Giggles? I've always seen the poster, but I don't know anything about it.
Dr. Giggles, he was like this, again, he was like a traumatized kid. Something happened with his parents.
And they don't think that trauma exists.
Look at these kids. I know, just look at these movies.
And then he just grows up kind of like this. Like he was traumatized as a kid and he grows up and he's, instead of an ice cream man, he's a quote unquote doctor. He was like in a institution and all this stuff. And
how did he get a doctorate?
Yeah, that's like work.
I don't know. I don't think he actually had a doctorate.
Oh.
Maybe still.
I think he just, but that was like, oh man, never mind. Spoiler.
Let's talk about let's pivot. All right. Everyone listening, we're going to pivot. This is now a new episode about Dr. Giggles. None of us have seen it, but
no, he's got like this like tube thing, like a milkshake thing. And he like puts a tube down a lady's throat with like a spinning blade and then he pours like milkshake in it. And, like,
that sounds cool.
It's fucking gross. But no, you guys should see Dr. Giggles.
I drink
Dr.
your
Giggles.
milkshake.
Yeah.
I drink it up.
I drink it up.
Okay, I'm surprised that you guys did not warn us about this. DoesTheDogDie.com.
Oh, dude, I forgot.
No.
Yeah, I forgot.
Not only does it die, everything happens to it.
Not cool with dog murder.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot. Sorry, guys.
Before we get to the dog, though,
yes, it does. What?
There is a very important little thing that we kind of frolicked away from.
What is that?
Is when the kids are at the park and the caretaker guy who's kind of like roaming around tells the story of the Pied Piper, which kind of becomes like the running.
Oh, yeah. What?
Thing.
What was that guy about?
He's just like the wise old man who informs kids of grim tales.
So do you guys know the story of the Pied Piper?
Yes, I do know the story of the Pied Piper.
I don't,
the kids follow him.
Nate was saying that was actually a real thing, correct?
Yeah. So it's like folklore. I don't know. It's been like it's been a story for.
Is it the grim fairy tales? Is that what they call it?
They did like an adaptation of it. So
gotcha.
The Pied Piper was like it was back in like Germany in like the like medieval times, whenever that was. Those Germans. And they had like an infestation of rats. And this guy showed up, the Pied Piper, in like his colorful uniform. And he said that he could play his flute and drive the rats away. And the guy was like, okay, do that. And we'll give you like, I don't know what it was, like $5,000, whatever it was. Quid or whatever they call it.
Coins.
Give you a few
coins. We'll give you 5,000 pebbles.
Yeah.
And so he drove the rats away. And then the guy was like, yeah, I'm not giving you that money because you probably just brought the rats with you. Oh. And that's why we had the problem. And then you're trying to extort us. So I'm not giving you anything. So then the whole town goes to church one Sunday and they come back and all the children are missing because the Pied Piper led the children off into whatever. And there's different versions of the story. Some people say that he led them to a cave and that they came back later. Some people said he led them to the river and they drowned just like he drowned the rats. So that's the Pied Piper.
You know what? That made me think of a story. I don't want to get too far off, but bringing in the rats. So me and Casey, we used to work at this really nice motel.
Nicest in
motel. Yep. And we were instructed by the owners that if people said like, hey, there's bed bugs in that room, we can't give them their money back because we're like, well, you could have brought them in here.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then that's how we were supposed to handle that, was to just
you know about bed bugs?
It's a classy establishment.
You know about bed bugs?
Oh, she know about bed bugs.
She knows about bed bugs.
You know about bed bugs. Yes, ma'am. I know about bed bugs. I'm an educated adult.
I'm 26 years old. I'm educated. I know about bed bugs.
Anyways, you probably brought them in here. That's why.
Anyway.
My God.
Wow.
Dude, that place was wild. We should have a podcast episode on just the hotel that we worked at.
It was a horror story, truly.
Yeah. Anyways.
Unsavory establishments. The real monster.
It was fucking funny though.
But yeah, you know what that story reminded me of? Because he's telling the Pied Piper story, and the kids obviously end up kind of like drawing a parallel with the Ice Cream Man. Also reminded me of Freddy Krueger. And I wonder if Wes Craven took that as some kind of inspiration. Because in that case, the parents do wrong him, and there is like revenge. This one, I kept wondering if there was going to be some kind of reveal that, and maybe I missed something, and probably did, that like the parents did something to Gregory in his past that kind of made him come back in sort of like creamy retribution or something. But
I feel like there was a lot of things set up, and I did not. I don't know if I just didn't get it.
Yeah.
Like as far as like the parents, I thought like some of the parents even were in on some stuff, but they weren't.
Totally.
It was very strange.
Yeah, there were a lot of things that made, I don't know, like going a little bit forward. Sorry, that scene where he's at the cemetery and he's bringing the ice cream.
Yes.
And they were like setting it up that he was doing something, but he really wasn't. I don't know. I felt like the whole movie was kind of like that. Like,
well, even with the nurse, how she ends up living next to him, but is sort of unaware of him being this like psychotic killer, but then sort of like leans into it without there's no grace period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think she was just crazy?
Which made me wonder if that was just the intent. Like we're supposed to be like, oh. Like,
well, she was
weird
also at the
sanatorium. Kind of?
Sanatorium.
Yeah,
right?
so I think she just was also so crazy that she just.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know.
So do you think it was supposed to be treated as a twist? Like we weren't supposed to realize it was her until later? Like it was a Clark Kent thing, like with the glasses. Like it's like, oh, that's her.
Oh no, I think we were supposed to know.
We were supposed
it was
to know.
her.
Okay,
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
But I was surprised. Speaking of like the adults, I was surprised to see David Warner and David Naughton in this movie.
David Warner,
I don't know,
is
who
a
they
gift.
So David Warner was like the preacher dad, the priest dad. Who there was that whole weird thing with like his wife speaking in tongues was like, where did that?
Oh, that's what it was.
I didn't think
I should have known that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like clucking like a chicken.
I thought she was great.
Well, yeah. As someone who has family members who speak in tongues.
Yeah, she was, I guess.
Makes sense. Why is she crazy? Why are they acting like it's normal? Oh, religion. So
Yeah.
But that also doesn't go anywhere.
It doesn't. That's why it was confusing, because it was like, are you gonna like talk about it? But they even showed like the wife later. She was like saying goodbye to her daughter just going to school, and like the I don't know, priest, pastor, whatever, like slowly bringing her inside. So she looked like she was crazy.
Yeah.
And they were like, so I don't know if other people in this town were also just like traumatized or messed up in a way, and they just were all acting like it was normal.
It was just
that's interesting. If you did like kind of an extended reveal of the flashback and you see that there were other kids and everyone was affected, so it wasn't just him.
Could be.
Or something. Or maybe like all the parents you find out are actually like escaped patients from the same hospital. I don't know.
The ice cream man, the ice cream king who got gunned down at the beginning in a drug-related drive-by was drugging all the ice cream. He was putting like drugs in all the ice cream for these kids. They all ate it, and some of them were affected by it. And
they were just tripping on acid for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, you can look at it as he gave them this like laced ice cream and it just messed them up. Or because he stopped supplying them with the laced ice cream.
They're having withdrawals.
Their lives were like,
give me my drugs.
I mean, in some way, that would make more sense, because then it would push people into the hospital and then push them into getting this work done and experimentation on them, and then them going out and doing random shit. Like that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, they laid a lot of variables, a lot of things you can play with, a lot of things that could add up that ultimately turn out to be nothing. But I mean, you know, is that not what you're left with after you enjoy a delicious ice cream cone or sandwich or bar? You're left with nothing, but you're still full and satisfied. Yeah, and sticky hands. Not unlike our friend Edward.
Oh God. The other surprise actor that I was surprised to see was David Naughton, who was
David Naughton?
Tuna's dad. And David Naughton was what's his name in the main character in American Werewolf in London.
Oh,
what?
I didn't recognize him at all.
Yeah.
But I don't think I got a good look at Tuna's dad. I'm not going to lie, because I was kind of...
He looked so familiar.
Yeah, American Werewolf in London. But also, that brings us to a segment that, Brooke, I'm glad you are here for this.
I don't know.
It's a segment that doesn't happen very often, but when it does, makes me hungry. Makes me real freaking hungry. Makes me want a hot dog real bad. It is time
made out with a hot dog.
For hot dog talk with the boys.
Oh.
Hot diggity dog.
Kielbasa, bratwurst, ballpark franks, Wiener schnitzels, Italian sausage. Everything from wet floppy dogs to hard marble rods. This is Hot Dog Talk with the boys.
I'm confused as to where this is going. Where were their hot dogs?
So
where weren't there hot dogs?
In researching this movie, I found out that David Naughton was in a movie called Hot Dog the Movie.
Hot dog?
And it's about skiing, right? It's like a raunchy sex comedy about skiing. Like, you know, like the 80s, you know, like Porky's or all that kind of stuff. Like it's one of those kind of movies. And I found out that freestyle skiing, like, you know, skiing that's not about getting down the hill, down the mountain fastest, but doing like tricks and showboating.
Tricks.
Was originally called hot dog skiing.
That is ridiculous.
Why'd they call it Hot Dog the Movie? Why not just hot dogs and like do like a little? It's like in the Meatballs
You got like
universe.
a real New York accent when you said that. Why didn't they call it Hot Dog the Movie? Why didn't they just call it Hot Dog?
Hot Dog the Movie.
Reviews. No hot dogs in this movie.
Hey, this movie?
I was
0.
disappointed.
There's no hot dogs. 0 stars.
No
for me.
hot dogs.
I wanted hot dogs.
Where's the hot dogs?
Why is this movie about skiing? It's called Hot Dogs a Movie.
So is this a segment? What is this segment about? I don't understand. We just talk about hot dogs?
We just talk about hot dogs. And
actually,
I found out.
Now you know. that there's a movie called Hot Dog the Movie.
Yeah.
Guys, guess what I had today for lunch?
A burger.
A hot dog?
A hot dog.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
I did.
Oh,
A
that's
Smith's
amazing.
hot dog.
A Smith's hot
Oh,
dog.
a Smith's hot dog.
See?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like the universe was telling me.
Danny's never had a Smith's hot dog.
What's a Smith's hot dog?
Okay, Brooke, I have to ask. I don't know how much you know about Smith's hot dogs, but never mind.
How much do you know about Smith's hot dogs?
Were you going to ask about the casing? Was it circumcised?
What?
I like them crispy.
Wait.
I like it with
But there
some
are
crunch.
some with casing and some without.
I like it with the casing.
Yeah.
I like the natural casing.
I thought it's like I thought it was like a joke that they would like only take off some of the casing
To circumcise?
because it seems so specific about like Danny's not gonna know anything about Smith's hot dogs.
Well, Smith's is made, they're made in Erie.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
they're Pennsylvania famous, basically.
You've got to have one if you ever come to Erie.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
I'm on my way. All right,
Smith's
I'll see you
hot
guys. I gotta
Come on.
hop on a plane.
Gotta go get a hot
Some hot
dog.
They're really
dogs.
good.
I'm gonna get a
Yeah.
circumcised hot
Yeah,
dog.
hot dog.
Perfect, you guys. Hot dog talk with the boys. All right. Now talking about ice cream.
Yes.
Now we gotta have
Hot
dessert.
dogs
Now
and
we gotta
ice
have
cream.
dessert.
Hot dog.
I feel like you
Ice
eat hot dogs when you eat ice cream.
That's fair. I guess I'm like imagining eating it together, which is
Yeah.
funny because I can eat a hot dog and then ice cream.
And then ice cream, but not
hot dog flavored ice cream.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a hot dog covered with ice cream.
Yeah. People dip like, you know, you get like a Frosty from
Yeah.
from Wendy's, and
Wendy's.
people put French fries in it.
I
What
dip
would
my
be any
nuggets in it.
different than dipping a fucking hot dog in it?
Yeah, I would dip a corn dog in ice cream, I think. That's essentially.
Would you? I would do it.
Did I say I would? I frequently,
You just were like, I
regularly
would.
dip
I
corn
love the
dogs
transition
into ice cream.
going from hot dog talk back into the ice cream. This is great.
Anyways,
back into
Perfect.
hot dog, back into ice cream.
Perfect.
It's like a pinball machine. We're just going to keep going back. You can't talk about one without the other, so we're stuck in a
Right.
paradox now.
I wonder if he sells hot dogs out of his ice cream truck.
He sells probably some form of hot dogs, like organs.
he could. It would be easier for him to do that than for him to like
100%.
Put eyeballs in the
Turn-
ice cream.
turn people into like powder that he puts into the ice cream.
Yeah.
like he
well,
could just.
So true.
I have so
Yeah.
much
Make
to
them in
say
hot
about that
dogs.
too, but
Okay.
Yeah.
we'll get there.
But we are at the point right now where he cores out the eyeball
Yeah.
and
Yes.
puts it.
Oh,
So he cores it out, right? He uses like an apple core and
Yep.
goes through the eyeball,
He
puts
scoops
it in the ice cream, gives it to the guy.
Yeah.
The guy eats it. And then when the guy is eating it and we see the close up of his mouth, it's a
Yeah. He's
full
playing with
eyeball.
yeah.
Yeah, and he's just playing with it in his mouth
just
for like
playing-
10 seconds.
Yeah, you know if you have
Yeah,
an eyeball
and
in your
it's-
mouth.
It's not just the piece that he took out of the eyeball and put
Yeah.
in the ice cream. It's the whole eyeball.
Right,
That
right.
truck would be very stinky.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like-
The
Yeah,
stinkiest.
well, even when like the
Wait, smell it.
detectives comes, that would be the first thing you notice is the smell.
They don't even check it. They check everything except the truck.
Yeah, they do. They check everything that he has associated with, except the ice cream truck
Well,
that smells of rotted flesh. Oh my god!
This is kind of where Paul, like they already got ice cream once during the day and Paul wants more ice cream.
There's nothing
Um,
wrong with that.
Yeah, that's true. And so he like goes to a back alley just by himself. This might be our first monster reveal
Mm-hmm.
to a character in the movie.
Yeah, not counting the dog because the dog gets the push pop blade.
yeah.
Right. But this is the first reveal to a human character.
Right.
When Paul finds out that the ice cream man, Gregory, killed the park janitor. What
The
do you call
wise
that?
man.
Maintenance.
The wise man, the maintenance
Caretaker.
man, the wise maintenance caretaker man. And so
That's how he's credited.
Gregory takes small Paul. At first, we think he's dead because Tuna sees him getting dragged into the ice cream truck. So then Gregory chases Tuna back to his house. And this part was so weird. I thought this was fucking insane. He gets home and his mom's like, basically like, you know the rules. your shoes. And he goes and he has to put his shoes outside.
On the porch.
Yeah, not, like, hey, Mom, my friend was just abducted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would argue having to put your shoes on the porch is weirder than your friend.
That's what
abducted.
I'm saying. Yeah, like.
No one else's shoes are on the porch.
No.
Right.
It's true. His were
Just
the only
yours.
His shoes also have no chance of being cleaner by remaining outside on the porch.
Well, I wonder if his nickname is Tuna because he smells or something.
Oh.
Maybe
his
like
shoes
feet
outside
smell like
he's
tuna
stinky.
fish.
That's nasty.
That's
But what's even more nasty is the next morning when his shoes are covered in ice cream and worms and
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So the ice cream man is showing him, you're next.
Yeah.
And that's when they go to the grocery store, right?
Dude,
Oh my
the
God,
grocery
the
store
best scene in this movie.
chase scene is ridiculous.
Nate pointed out, he goes, does that grocery store have carpet? Did you notice that?
Uh-huh.
And then it made it,
Yeah.
and then I was like, what? And then it just felt so uncomfortable. I feel like I was at a school or something. It was so weird.
Yeah.
The carpet will be returning to this conversation later.
Okay.
There were so many weird things about this scene. Number one, this kid just had this like traumatic experience. He feels like he's being chased by a weird stranger. And his mom just like sends him off to go grocery shopping to get stuff on his own.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's like that whole thing where like he sees the ice cream man sees him. They don't know if it's the same person. And he like looks at his shoes and he's like, oh no, the other kid's shoes were red. Like that's not him. But he ruined those shoes. I don't fucking know. It was very bizarre.
Yeah.
And then they have this whole chase scene where Tuna
the most
doesn't.
avoidable chase scene in any movie whatsoever.
All Tuna has to do is speak words and say, help me or something. Then he finds a lady who's wearing the exact same outfit.
Zach, I'll go
same
so far
height.
as to say it is literally the actress who plays his mom until she has to turn
And
around.
then she turns around. Yeah.
Because
they do a cutaway later. They show that woman, and then they cut away to the mom walking away. Literally the same person. And then she has long hair later. Oh my God.
Yep.
And then Tuna tries to make a getaway by getting on the cart of a employee. And he's like this big, like, I don't know, 12, 13-year-old kid, right?
Yeah.
Riding on this cart with like his legs flailing out the back. And this employee doesn't notice that her cart got
now
noticeably heavier. And then he like rolls off and it's just seamless. Like the employee does not know what's going on.
It reminded me of like a Home Alone scene.
Yeah.
Like a poorly done Home Alone scene.
I just wrote Tuna escapes on a cart like a fucking idiot. Like that's how
well,
my
it works,
brain
Danny.
interpret. It did work. That's fair.
Yeah.
You're right.
It worked. I always like in movies though when because I hate when there's like something going on and like all the person has to do is tell somebody, tell the authority, tell your parents. I like it that he actually told his mom, told the police, and then they went and did. I mean, they didn't do anything about it, but that always like, I don't know, gives me some kind of satisfaction when I'm watching a movie and I'm like, thank you. That it could have been so much easily avoided if you just told somebody.
Totally.
Because in movies, it's like the whole movie revolves around the fact that somebody didn't tell somebody something. Otherwise, the movie wouldn't exist. And it's like, that's the only way that you could find out how to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is by making that person really dumb.
Yeah. So So at least he did tell.
And was it like the grocery store like owner who was like, "You're not going to take us to court over this, are you?"
Yeah. The small like comments are just like, what?
Yeah. But yeah, the carpet in that place. Oh my God.
I could smell it. I feel like it smells like cigarettes.
I could smell it. I could feel it. I could feel it.
Ew.
It felt like I was I don't know.
Yeah, like no matter how many times you vacuum it, there's just like this dusty film on it.
This just feels gross. Yeah. I feel it right now.
Yeah, it's awful.
So we find out that the ice cream king who got gunned down at the beginning is named Butch Brickle.
Oh.
And he is celebrated by Gregory. And Small Paul was hidden in the freezer, right? He had like this weird like cubby in the freezer and he like got the kid out. And Paul had like this weird thing where he was like connecting with Gregory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, it was like Stockholm Syndrome, but real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Like,
he was like totally fine with it. He was like connecting with him, saw that he killed somebody, and then immediately forgot and was just like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I got, and I don't know why, not quite to the extent of this, but like Michael Jackson vibes, where he just like connected with this little kid.
Sure.
And
because he had this traumatic background.
That made me think
because
of it,
the kid looked like Macaulay Culkin. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so Small Paul is being Michael Jacksoned by the ice cream man.
Look at this wonderful place with everything you can imagine.
This is where we get another brilliant scene, which I like to call search and destroy.
Okay.
Ooh.
Because this is where they get a search warrant for the ice cream man's
my God.
ice cream shop. And they're like,
if ever there was a way to give your villain
they didn't even
sympathy,
look for anything. They just
they were literally just smashing everything.
Smashing shit. I felt bad for him in that moment. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It made me, like, it really made me feel bad.
I
for
forgave
him.
all of his actions because of that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense. Like, why? Like you said, they weren't looking for anything. They were just making a mess.
Yeah.
It's so
anyways,
stupid.
It was a bullying moment.
It was a
It
bullying
definitely
moment.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were just taking advantage of the fact that they could.
I feel like they were trying to give us a reason for him to get mad at people or something, because like up until then, I don't know, because then everything just went crazy shortly after that.
Yeah.
Like he was still killing people and dogs, but then.
Well, do you think it was deliberate to get the audience sort of to sympathize with him? Like, look at these awful characters and he's going to kill, because he doesn't kill any of the kids, does he? He tries to, I guess. I guess you could argue that, but like in the same way you would like root for Jason, you know, like these annoying teenagers are getting killed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were supposed to be watching you, but they were having sex instead.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Get him.
See, he just needed a mother like Pamela Voorhees.
He did. He needed a Pam.
Yeah.
I want to say really quickly that like I want to find Butterbrickle ice cream.
Oh, I wish we all had Butterbrickle ice cream right now.
I have never had it, but I want it.
Wait, that's a real thing?
Yeah, what is it?
Yes, it's like toffee ice cream.
Oh.
So
I looked it up.
Wasn't that the ice cream king's last name, Brickle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it was made up.
Oh, so is that why he connected with the kid? Is that why? Because is that the same flavor that kid keeps getting?
Oh, yeah.
Small Paul. So you think that's why he's like, oh.
I'm sure that was
okay.
What their reasoning may have been.
And it's, I don't know, something about that ice cream. And
Brooke,
I don't know why that kid's.
Literally just answered all of our questions.
I really enjoyed
You connected the dots.
Yeah.
I'm going,
it all makes sense right now. I'm like,
wait a minute.
There was motivation. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they needed to make that stuff more like obvious, I think, because there's so much stuff they could have.
Well, he should have killed some kids first so that we could have seen him, like why he stops, you know, like, because it wasn't clear. Because I don't even think you know the king's name until later, right?
The scene right when they get into the ice cream shop, right before it gets raided, you find out the ice cream king's name. Was the Butterbrickle ice cream the one that he was making from like all the ground up people?
I don't know, because he wasn't let's be 100% clear here. He wasn't making any ice cream with any of that. What was that? Water with like Kool-Aid in it? Like, was it Kool-Aid?
Yeah,
it was just sugar powder.
Takes me 6 months for this to thicken.
With coloring mixed. Yeah, it was like he was making Jell-O.
Yeah.
Huh.
None of that was ice cream. I was very upset by that. I was upset because in the description it says that he turns the kids into ice cream, which one we just established he doesn't even kill any kids.
Which would have been a great premise.
Right. Second, he doesn't turn any of them into ice cream. He just puts their body parts into already made ice cream.
So he's seasoning the ice cream.
Yeah. I wanted to see him like breaking down. That's messed up. But I wanted to see him like breaking down.
No, but for the sake of
bodies.
the movie and like what it's like.
And like
the promise of the
actually
premise
putting them into ice cream. Somehow.
Yeah.
It's weird how it must actually taste good.
Well, yeah. I mean, you put enough sugar and cream in anything.
Nah.
Yeah,
it's true.
Sugar's addictive. We don't care. I'll eat something. If something has sugar in it, even if it's not good, I'll be like, well, it's
even
sweet.
if it falls on the ground of a truck stop, you'll eat it.
That's right.
As long as it's
just
sweet enough.
sugar on it. It's like, we're good.
You see like pubic hair on it, you're just like, sugar.
Yeah.
No shame.
Oh, God. Okay, shifting gears for a second, I want to talk about the Rocketeers and where they get all their spy gear.
Yes.
Ooh, that rocket! The kid had like a
on his bike.
The rockets on their bike, yeah. Yeah, so this is where the Rocketeers decide that they need to find this ice cream man. They need to follow him and see what he's doing. So they get on all their best spy gear with their microphones and their walkie-talkies and their rockets on their bikes.
I used to love that shit when I was a kid.
They're like fucking berets.
I wanted to
berets. They're really cute.
God. Well, they had like logos and everything. They were like custom
They'll
made.
never know we're spies if we all wear a uniform.
Yeah,
Yeah. They follow the ice cream truck. And this was my favorite part because they say, oh, like he's coming, get down. And so they all just kind of scrunch down by their bikes, but they're still just like
in plain sight,
just like in the open. And the truck just drives by and like doesn't see them. And they're like, okay, let's go.
He only
which I thought was ridiculous.
Stand.
And then the same thing still. When like, so then they follow him to the graveyard and the ice cream truck pulls up and the cop car is sitting like right in front of the truck.
Yeah.
And nobody sees that either.
Yeah.
It was just a little, like they could have had the car like pull up afterwards and kind of like creep into the scene. I don't know. But yeah, so he goes to visit Butch Brickle's grave and he just like gives him a bunch of ice cream.
Yeah, in a very elaborate
way.
He has an ice cream truck, but he's crafted this like mechanism to hold like a handful of ice cream cones pre-scooped. Yeah. But it's like in this weird bag.
Yeah, you kind of think like it's a body.
They want you to think it's a body.
Just drive the ice cream truck and just walk the ice cream cones over. You literally, I don't know.
Danny,
I'm not going to question
how
his
many hands
practices.
does this man have?
It's fair.
This is probably the thing that makes the most sense in the movie.
But he's literally parked right next to the grave. Like he could just walk over, put it down, walk back, get another round, come back.
That's still a lot more work, Danny. He's working smart, not hard.
And with the way this ice cream drips, like you think
yeah, with how melted it already is, like that's really risky.
So, which I thought was really funny is that he goes one way into the graveyard and the kids all like follow him right there and they like set their bikes up and they crouch down and like exactly where he entered the graveyard. And then when he leaves, you would think he would just go back that way.
Yeah.
Where all the kids are. But because the kids are there, he can't go back that way. So he like just takes a different way out of the cemetery. It was just...
Yeah, he's just enjoying himself.
Yeah. It just threw me off a little bit. So they follow him back to like the neighborhood. Oh, because he goes back, he gets in his truck and he goes to the sexy lady who wants to have sex with him house.
He goes to the sexy lady who wants to have sex with him. The promiscuous girl.
Yeah, it was like 149 was like her address, and he kept like saying it. And so he goes to her house and like
Wanda, I think her name was
Wanda.
Yeah.
And Heather, the little girl Rocketeer, she sneaks into his van and starts like taking pictures.
Yeah.
And what's his dude? What was that kid's name? Racer? Was that the kid's name? Racer? Anyways,
Tuna,
the other kid, not Tuna, but the other one.
We'll just call him not Tuna.
Not Tuna.
We have Tuna and not Tuna.
Leaves Heather in the van and he goes back to find Tuna. And then the ice cream man gets in the truck and you think that Heather is still in the van.
Yeah.
Right. But you find out later that she got out.
Right.
Yeah.
When that cop goes to her house and asks her dad to check on her, why was that cop so nervous?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he was the most concerned guy ever.
But he was like spinning his billy club, and he's like, "Can you please?"
Yeah, I know. I thought the same thing.
Can you please just go check on her? I'm
well,
like,
then David Warner kind of makes him feel bad about asking to check.
Yeah,
and he's like, "My sermon on Sunday is going to be about trust," and the cop's like,
"Yeah,
damn.
Don't you want to make sure that your fucking kid's alive? You fucking prick."
Yeah, there's got to be some like power dynamic.
Yeah.
With David Warner's character, the preacher.
Yeah. The preacher.
That's what I was saying. He had a weird effect on a lot of people there that I'm surprised that didn't just for like the other dad getting murdered and stuff. I just was surprised nothing happened to him.
Totally. Yeah, that's a great point. Either like a death or a reveal as
something
of like the mastermind or something.
That and just how he treated the mom. There was a church service where he had like fake like blood on his hands.
Right.
And I was like, this guy's crazy. Like,
yeah, they could have just what if the reveal was he was the guy who ran the hospital?
Ooh,
like just
maybe ice cream too.
Take it back. Just be like, that's the thing. And like he's
that would make more sense to me if he was involved in some way, because it was just so much that he was, and it was just like, nope, he was just
you have David
dad.
Warner.
Like,
hopefully they'll answer all of our questions in the second one that they're
in
making.
the sequel.
So are we at the point yet where he kills the sexy lady?
Yeah, he gets to the sexy lady's house.
So before he kills the sexy lady, he kills David Naughton's character.
Yeah.
With like a waffle iron, and he presses it on his face, which I thought was pretty cool, because then he goes to the door and he rings the doorbell to see sexy lady Wanda, and he presents her with a giant waffle cone with Martin's head on top of it. Like, did he just have that ice cream cone prepared for a head?
Probably. It was the right size.
Yeah.
That was a big ice cream cone.
So I think it's kind of funny. This movie, the budget was like $2 million.
Okay.
I think they spent half of it on fake heads because the heads looked really good.
Oh, the heads looked incredible.
The heads looked really good.
But
nothing.
Yeah.
I know. But that was it.
Okay. Now we're
go
here.
ahead, bro.
So we are here.
It's like they're like, you get one shot for us to get fake blood on you, and they got it in his eye. And he started fucking switching like, and they just keep it there. You can see like the fake blood get into his actual eyeball, and the actor just start freaking out. And
because he's like, he's blinking with the one eye, and then he's trying to keep his other eye closed. Yeah.
That's all I had to say.
Yeah, and they did like such a tight close up.
Yeah, it was right up on his eyes.
He's like, shit.
It's method.
Yep.
What did he say earlier when he had blood on his face and
grenadine?
That's
right.
Yep.
Yeah. Nurse Wharton was like, "What's that on your face?"
And then he says it again at the or no, he doesn't say it again. But he mentioned something about cherry sauce when he's the lady's asking about lipstick in the store.
Oh
yeah.
What is cherry sauce if not grenadine?
Which little fun fact: that lady who asked for lipstick advice.
Who is she?
She was a porn star, and she was the director Norman Epstein's wife at the time.
Oh.
Yeah. That's all.
It's funny because he also, jumping ahead just a little bit, he has a little bit of porn in this movie.
Does he? Oh, there's a picture.
Yeah.
Of porn?
Did you guys miss that?
Yeah.
When they go get the film developed.
My porn dar was off.
Oh, yeah.
They show like two pictures of them fucking before they get to like the blood and guts.
That was like super softcore though. Like clothes on.
Was it? I don't think.
I mean, it was.
We'll have to go back and pause it.
Rated X to me.
I mean, it's no Edward Penis Hands. What if it was a picture from Edward Penis Hands? That'd be
awesome. That'd be awesome. Just slip it in there.
Slip it in.
So about this time, Small Paul is going off the deep end in the ice cream thing, and he's like all about helping him.
He's ice cream crazy.
Been there.
These two detectives go to visit the hospital.
Yeah.
But what brings them there? Like, they just show him up there. Like, why did they go there?
Because they knew that Gregory had been there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
So they're trying to figure out, what kind of mental disorders brought him there.
Okay. Yeah, why not just call?
This part of this movie, they don't give you information like that.
It was madness.
They don't.
It was. It really was.
Crazy.
And what was the agenda of the hospital?
The hospital scene.
This part was unhinged.
No, they spent so much of the budget on this part, like of them just like, dude, okay, in this room, you guys are gonna be two men sitting on a toilet, also facing two other toilets.
So he takes him into that room, and everybody's been pumped with this green goo that just makes everybody loco,
I guess.
So I don't know why I thought that it was so fucking funny that you could see all of the silhouettes of all these people behind the doors.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, wherever you are, come out, wherever you are. But they're all just standing there waiting for their cue. And you can see them all instead of just having people like, come up on it. They wanted you to see the silhouette of all these people just standing there. I don't know. I thought that it was very strange. And then, when they split up and he's walking down the hallway and they just have everybody coming at this 7-minute scene of him just walking down this really long hallway and all these people just coming out.
Apparently that actor was drunk most of the time on this movie.
Who was?
That cop who was just walking down the hallway and
Oh, that would make sense.
Is that why he didn't run away?
He was weird.
And just sauntered away with the patients?
Yeah, I thought he was just trying to be tough, but
it's like, wait,
apparently he was drunk. So that's
am I with them?
What they say.
I'm walking away.
It was so weird. They would get up in his face for a second and then they just turn around and start following him.
So Casey, I didn't. Oh, I put it. I guess I don't know. A lot of this movie just kind of came and went through my brain. I didn't really retain a lot.
It wasn't cohesive. None of it was cohesive.
No.
But the whole thing with the injections that the patients get into their heads, that I guess to your point, it makes them violent or whatever.
I think that it made them. It was job security,
Why set that up at all? I know I feel like every time I'm making a point, it's like a note, like a rewrite note, but I can't help it because I'm so confused. Why, if you're going to establish that, you would think then that the story of the movie would be about this ice cream man who uses whatever's in that to put in the ice cream and make his customers turn psychotic.
Yeah. There's not a cohesive thought in this movie. There's not a line. Yeah, there's not a line where everything comes together.
They repeat that line about happy, happy days or something about.
Yeah.
And I just was like, yeah. And I mean, you think that there would be something behind that.
Yeah.
Because no one seemed very happy.
Oh, they were very
they're
happy.
trying to mask.
Yeah.
Their treatment is just basically put a Band-Aid on it. But they don't do anything with that because we never see him, unless he's talking to Small Paul, we never see him sort of fighting, resisting the urge, to kill or to be sad or anything.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, treatment is a really strong word because I don't think it was treatment at all.
That's not how what your doctor does?
No.
Oh,
no.
I should probably change
I
doctors.
I think it was job security at first. The guy was just like, we'll just keep them all here.
Yeah.
And then he started using the goo himself. He must have. Right?
Start using the goo and you never
using the goo.
Yeah. Once you go goo, you never go back.
So here is a little bit where Tuna's fat suit comes into play because he is riding his bike and apparently Tuna doesn't know how to ride a bike. He can't keep up with anybody. And I think maybe that's why they made him overweight with the pillow because he can't ride his bike. And so the fucking ice cream man just drives up next to him and snatches him off his bike, puts him in the freezer and locks it. Somehow later he gets out. I don't know how, but Tuna at this point is locked in a freezer in the ice cream truck. And this is when the kids go to Jacob, the brother, to say help because Jacob is going to be a cop.
Yeah, he is. He's going to be a good one too.
He's going to be a real good one. He's got a gun and a radio. He's got the
gun. The badge comes next.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Also, knowing that this man used to produce porn, did you guys see his dick outline in his white sweatpants? Because I did.
No.
Now I want to go
back.
Yeah,
you can see the whole thing.
Man, I missed all this stuff.
I'm always dick watching,
Speaking of hot dogs.
Hot dogs.
Ice cream dick.
Ice cream dick.
Ice cream dick.
It's the opposite.
Take that
of hot
ice cream
dog.
dick.
Yeah. And then what they kind of rally together and go to the factory, right?
Yeah. And Jacob goes in and he's like, don't come in. If you hear gunshots or whatever, just call the station.
Screaming.
Wait. Okay. I just like, because I'm looking at my notes and I mentioned it earlier. And again, this is just a conspiracy theory.
Oh.
Ooh, we love those around here.
Mm-hmm.
It is time for the How I Met Your Monster conspiracy theory of the week.
Hit it.
You're telling me that NASA is going to kill the president of the United States with an earthquake?
Not exactly the kind of thing a Secret Service agent can just throw himself on top of. The whole Vietnam War was fought over a bet. Howard Hughes lost to Aristotle Onassis. This is our third issue this year. Conspiracy theory.
So I remember I said the hospital feels like a weird cult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So does that dad. And the mom is crazy. Do you think the mom, she's been getting treatments and the dad is aware of that? And that's why he's not even worried about the daughter being missing. I don't know. That's just kind of like it would make more sense if maybe we already said that, but we've said a lot of things. We talked about a lot of weird things.
No, but it's a great point. And it's these little, like one line you could answer it because you've already set up enough.
Yeah, because that makes more sense than the mom like speaking in tongues, is that she's like kind of crazy because she's been getting treatments and he's like not concerned about it because he knows what's going on. I don't know.
Yeah, he needed to be revealed as the head of that hospital.
Or just not be in the movie.
Yeah.
You know?
You can say that about everything.
You literally did all the heavy lifting by hiring David Warner, who I'm sure was probably the most expensive actor. Do something. Like,
yeah. I
don't know.
Yeah, and then
maybe that was the plan, and David Warner was like, "I'll give you this much. I am not gonna be like the main antagonist of this movie.
I'll be a preacher. That's it."
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he stabs the girl right here.
So quickly.
Oh, yeah,
that was good.
right to her.
Wait, so did he killed the brother then too, right? Because he
killed Jacob. We don't see it, but he comes out wearing his clothes.
That's kind of sad.
I love that he comes out wearing his clothes, but no one in the car is even looking that direction.
Right, so it's like they didn't have to do that.
Because he reveals himself in 2 seconds anyway.
But that wouldn't have killed that girl either. Since we're just throwing out things that don't make any sense in this movie.
He just kind of goes crazy all at once. He's very slow to kill people, and now he just doesn't even care. Like, people could show up at his house and there's a bunch of dead bodies everywhere, and he's not even being careful about it.
And this is where we see the cops' heads.
They're on ice cream scoops.
Ice cream scoops.
Oh, that's why when he was doing the cookie thing, it was okay. Fun fact about ice cream scoops, guys. When I was younger and we had this really thick ice cream scoop, very heavy, and we'd have to shake it. And I was like, why? And my mom's like, well, Mercury's in there. And I thought the planet Mercury was inside these ice cream scoops. I'm like, this has to be a really expensive ice cream scoop. Yeah, no, I just was like, these have to be really expensive. Like, we're getting
no wonder
Mercury.
No wonder it gets through the ice cream.
Nobody explained these things to me. I just had to figure it out when I'm like a teenager. And being like, wait a minute.
Crafted out of an asteroid.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah, you don't put a mercury filled ice cream scoop in the dishwasher.
No,
don't do that.
Wait, I wonder. So was that a thing when we were younger? Ice cream scoops.
Yeah, there was a handle,
stuff in it. Yeah.
Why?
So what is that?
Why?
It must have helped. Well, so mercury is the stuff in thermometers that take your temperature.
Oh, okay.
What I'm assuming is that the mercury probably used your heat from your hand, probably your body heat.
Yeah,
maybe to keep it
would
warm,
heat it up
to scoop it.
Yeah.
So high tech.
So it cut through the ice cream. Yeah.
I mean, I think we still have that ice cream scoop.
I feel really smart because I just thought of that off the top of my head.
Casey,
and I think,
you know what? It might not even be true, but it sounds right. So
thank you.
Thanks, Casey.
Thank you.
It's official.
Yeah. Casey, you had mentioned that a lot of the budget probably went to the fake heads.
Yeah.
That looked good.
They were really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. I don't know who made them. I should have looked it up.
So this is like the big finale as the kids are running around the factory and the grounds, and they run into Nurse Norton's house. Norton?
Olivia Hussey.
Nurse Wharton. They run into Nurse Wharton's house and ask her for help. And she thinks that they're like playing the game because hide and seek. So she gets all excited and she's like, oh my gosh, this is great. I'm going to, there's something, she's off her rocker a little bit.
Yeah.
While she was in the thing.
But did she take she was a nurse there. She worked
That's
there.
the thing. Even the people who are in charge.
The guy who was the doctor was doing it.
He was doing it too.
Oh,
they're all
so they're just
something.
stabbing themselves in the head with a needle.
Yeah.
They had it.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. But when the detectives show up and they see the ice cream man grappling with Tuna in the truck, and I feel like cops they would have done more, or they should have done more.
They were the worst.
But they kind of just they were the worst cops. And I love how they dressed. They dressed the one guy like fucking Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon. He had like the shirts and the belt buckle and the boots. They just get knocked out by ice cream scoops because he gets up on the roof and he jumps down with 2 ice cream scoops and they're just like bonk. And they're like,
if they weren't in the movie, the movie would still end up exactly where it ended up.
Exactly.
They literally did nothing for the movie.
Yeah.
It would probably help the movie because they wouldn't have gone to that sanitarium, that hospital, and
they made it worse.
Just confused us with all the
Yeah, it's funny with all of this stuff that makes zero sense in this movie. It was still only an hour and a half.
Yeah,
it felt so long, and I fell asleep during the first time too, and so did you, Casey.
I didn't fall asleep. I just got really distracted.
There was a part where I was
it
like,
seem to drag
this is wrapping up in a weird way. It was 40 minutes in. I was like, oh my God. I literally was like,
what part was that?
It was when he was with Small Paul. And they were just having some exchange that felt kind of like
dogs.
It just felt
You're not from
like
Brooklyn, Danny.
It was wrapping up. I don't know.
It could have right there, though. It could have in some way because of how it does actually end.
Yeah, like he got him. Yeah. He got the kid that's going to end up being basically like his successor.
The ice cream plopper.
Yeah. Not before he says...
Oh, is that what they call him?
Take that ice cream, dick.
The prince and the pauper. I don't know. I was thinking about what comes after a prince.
So Small Paul is actually the one that he connected with the ice cream man, but then he kills him by pushing him into
he knows how to get him. He understands.
Well, also, I think again, it's this friend group. They care about each other. So, like, I think he watched him like kill other people, and I don't think he cared. But when he saw he was going to hurt his friends, I think that's when he stepped in. And
good thinking.
I don't know. I just think, man, weird movie, but
we love
good
a good friendship.
I love a good friendship.
But the morals are there.
There's
a lot of integrity, surprisingly.
Yeah.
And then all the kids are great. Tuna loses a whole bunch of weight by taking the pillow out of his shirt. They do fill the spot of the Rocketeers with Johnny, the missing kid from the beginning, because Small Paul is now stuck in
all alone in a padded
hospital.
Yep.
Like,
they go, where's Small Paul? And he's like, where else? Therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was supposed to be funny.
Dark.
Yeah.
But they delivered it like it was supposed to be funny. Where else? Therapy.
And that's it. That's Ice Cream Man.
It, guys.
I mean, that's it.
Enough. No more. So much to explore, and yet so few destinations in the end.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of roads, a lot of dead ends.
Yeah. I still thought it was fun, though.
It was.
Let's talk about the monster reveals in Ice Cream Man, shall we?
We shall.
What's going on here? I don't see anything anywhere.
That's how they get you. They're under the goddamn ground.
So I don't think there's that many. Like a lot of times we have a big list of reveals, but we initially see Gregory as a kid who's traumatized by the drive-by shooting. Then we have Small Paul in the back alley. I think that's the next reveal. I mean, unless you just count to us as an audience when we see the ice cream truck for the first time and it's got the cockroaches and the
I think that counts.
Mice and everything.
I think that counts as like his official reveal.
That's like an audience reveal.
He kills the dog before he kills Small Paul, right? Or before he gets Small Paul.
Yeah. That's the first kill we see.
That counts because we see what he's actually capable of.
Right. They show like, did they show body parts and stuff, or did they just show like cockroaches and stuff when he's
no, not in the very beginning. They don't show body parts.
Okay.
But then the next time they show the eyeballs and like the intestines in the ice cream thing.
Yeah.
It's so true. He could have made all of his problems would have been so much, or not even his problems, but his technique as a killer would have been so much more appropriate if he was selling hot dogs or meat. Or, or
I think it'd make the process easier. You could sell more stuff.
So it should be called the Hot Dog Man.
The Hot Dog Man. Hot dog talk.
He's a hot dog. He's a hot dog prince.
Exactly.
Making hot dogs at the people.
Hot dog talk with the hot dog
prince.
prince.
He also killed a dog, so you can make hot dogs out of a dog.
Small Paul killed a dog while eating a hot dog.
Hot dog.
Yeah.
All right, next. I'm done with my bit.
The next one I have is like way later, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys know of a different one, but like the next one I have is when he kills Martin, the dad, with the waffle iron.
Yeah, that's correct.
Because all the other time after that, he's just like, we're kind of following him around and
just being a creep.
The kids are chasing him and he's chasing the kids and all that stuff. And then I have right after that, the reveal to sexy lady.
She was a sexy lady. There was a sexy lady in there.
Sexy lady Wanda with the waffle cone, the big head on the waffle cone. You okay, Casey?
I just don't know why. Why is it so funny when people mispronounce words?
Sexy lady.
I don't know. It's
sexy lady.
Sexy lady.
I think that at some point the priest is. I'm gonna just say he's a monster in some way. There's some way.
Well,
sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure.
There is something there.
He's a sorry, religious listeners. He's a priest, which means he's probably touching little boys.
My God.
Oh, what if the ice cream man and the preacher dad were in cahoots? And he was supplying.
We just said that at the same time.
Kid. Are we in cahoots?
We're in cahoots.
And he's giving the kids to the ice cream man in exchange for free ice cream.
Oh,
I mean, you're not talking about how he's diddling boys and then giving them the ice cream man. You're saying he's giving them for the ice cream.
But he also pays rent with ice cream, so people are really into this ice cream. Remember, like
that's true.
This
he
whole
pays rent with gallons of ice cream.
It's Butterbrickle.
Everyone's in on
just
it
realized
just because they want some free ice cream.
Olivia Hussey is his landlord, but also was the nurse of the hospital he was at, and also is as kind of like twisted as he is.
That's why I feel like something's in the ice cream.
And also loves ice cream.
She had a soft spot for him, so when he was released, she probably was like, I can help you out with a place to stay.
More like soft serve.
She got soft. I thought he was just paying to sleep on the ground at first because they showed him like
with those flowers,
the big flowers. But like, that's when he wakes up.
Oh God, yeah, the flowers were weird to me. Like,
especially the one guy even says like, "What do you do to keep your flowers so nice?" Like,
yes,
and I'm like, "What? Like,
yes,
what?" I thought I was like he's being serious, and I was like, wait, is he joking?
Yeah.
I don't know. So many questions.
Well, and then I think right after that, the last reveal that I have is the reveal when he comes out in Jacob's clothes and stabs the girlfriend in the throat, in the mouth.
Yeah,
I think that was like the last one, because then we're in the finale and everybody knows that he's
can't reveal yourself if you're already there.
That's right.
That's our motto.
I think that's it. What was your favorite? What was your guys' favorite? Mine was definitely the waffle cone.
Yeah,
to the sexy lady, Wanda.
Yeah, I thought that was the best one. They tried the hardest with that one, and then they immediately were like, "You get one shot with grenadine getting in your eye."
Yeah.
So I basically did the same thing. I just went like a few seconds further when he has the head on the ice cream cone. Would that count as like a reveal?
Yeah, that's the waffle cone reveal.
Okay. So when you say the waffle cone reveal, it's like that entire sequence.
Well, are you talking about with the cops on the sticks?
No, when he does the waffle and then he goes in, because right after that, the next scene is when he has his head on the cone, right? And then he kills the other girl.
He like rings the doorbell and he comes in and he's got the cone behind his back. And he walks in and he holds it out, and then Wanda turns around and sees it.
Okay.
And that's the reveal I'm talking about.
Initially. Yeah. And I just wasn't sure if we're counting that as like a prolonged sequence.
Because that's a reveal to Wanda.
Okay.
That he's a monster.
So that's
and she can't diddle him anymore.
No diddling until you've had your ice cream.
Casey, what was your favorite reveal in Ice Cream Man?
The head on the waffle cone.
Yep.
Look at us, unanimous.
I think we're all.
Look at us.
All our heads are in the right. They're in the same spot. They're in the same place. All our heads are in the same waffle cone. Yeah.
I have to say, if I had to go, I'd want to go by decapitation and then promptly having my head put into a waffle cone.
It's style.
But would you want your face burnt with a waffle iron first?
Maybe after.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's like
so I didn't feel it. Maybe after.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if the waffle burn would kind of take away from the fear of like that whatever blade he used to cut off the head.
I don't think so.
What if you went out in a banana split?
How did they not do something with the banana split?
Oh, they should have cut somebody in half and be like, banana you want a banana split?
Yeah.
I mean, he does that one kill with the girl with the blade up in her mouth, like under her jaw. And he says brain freeze.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't really get it.
No, that's brain freeze.
There were so many like opportunities for just some cheesy one-liners. I wish there was.
He could have just cut somebody from like sternum to crotch and then put a bunch of ice cream in them and called it and bananas and called it.
That should have been the final. Casey, today we were kind of comparing the Thanksgiving trailer versus the fake trailer from Grindhouse from Eli Roth, and you were saying that you forgot how gruesome it gets and how you see the person who's basically stuffed like a turkey.
Yeah.
That could have been a similar sort of ending here with that, like a person being the bowl. And then
I'm so excited for that movie.
Yeah. Should be fun.
But I was thinking, do you remember in Nightmare on Elm Street 5 with Greta and he's like force feeding her? She's like the supermodel and he's like feeding her and she gets like.
I watched that movie way too young. That fucked me up.
That really scared me.
There was I 100% watched the extended. There must be an extended scene of that movie because I watched that Nightmare on Elm Street maybe a couple years ago, the fifth one, and it kind of just goes. And I remember like watching him just feeding her for kind of like way too long. It was disgusting.
Yeah. That's a really gross
talk about hunger pains.
But I was thinking, what if when he has the head on the ice cream cone, what if he stuffed his head full of ice cream and like ice cream was like coming out of his eyes and ears and
that'd be a brain.
Who wrote this movie?
God, we should damn it.
That's why they're doing it again. Like,
I mean, it could be really good.
Could be.
I hope it gets made. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Well, this brings us to a segment that we like to call The Real Monster.
Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
You're a monster.
I'm not the monster here. You are. You and the rest of that fairy tale trash poisoning my perfect world. Now tell me, where are the others?
Eat me.
Okay, so I have already revealed one of my real monsters for this movie, which is Tuna's costuming and his pillow fat. So I'll just say my next two real quick. My other real monsters are the grocery store chase scene. As we all agreed, that is just
redonk.
I think my biggest real monster, my number one real monster, is piggy banks that you have to smash open.
Yeah.
To get the money.
Yeah,
out.
what kind of shit is that?
That's insane.
When was that a good idea?
I get the idea.
Let me pick through all of this porcelain.
Right.
The sharp porcelain with my little child fingers to get all this money.
I mean, it's great from the business end of it. It's like, let's make a product they have to break and people just
got to keep buying more.
And like, I get it because you want to like put it in and then like not be able to get it out because then
we have to use the money
Yeah.
in the shattered piggy bank to buy a new piggy bank.
Yeah.
It's just a vicious cycle.
I have my actual, what I think the real monster is. And that is passed down trauma. And I just think that's what this movie was about. Just passing down trauma from one person to the next. You think you kill it, you don't.
It was so much deeper
than
we even realized. Thank you, Brooke.
You're welcome.
I would.
This was actually a really serious movie. This was actually really serious.
Say that the writers didn't know it was that deep either.
Yeah. you don't think so?
I know.
You don't think the porn director Norman Epstein didn't know this was so deep?
What about you, Casey?
I kind of mentioned mine already too. It was just the way that he was making ice cream because he wasn't making ice cream at all, and that infuriates me because that
was his job.
Ice cream.
That was his job.
Yeah,
one job.
That was your job. You were the ice cream prince.
Yeah.
You can make ice cream, and I love ice cream.
How are you ever going to be the ice cream king if you don't take it seriously?
You gotta know how to make ice cream.
Anyway.
Well, my real monsters, I've got a few. I had the pillow under Tuna's shirt, shoes on the porch, whoever gave the brother a gun, and
it was 1995, so
yeah. But the number one monster was just the carpeted grocery store.
The grocery store.
Which I would argue that you said it was the scene itself was the real monster. That was my favorite scene in the movie. Like, genuinely, I was the most entertained watching that scene. I laughed. I did not know where it was going. There were twists and turns, body doubles, chase scenes, escapes.
It had it all.
It had it all. It did no ice cream.
It
had everything but that.
Awesome.
All right, cool.
Well, I think that's it. Do you guys have anything else to add before we wrap this up?
No.
No?
I got nothing.
Listeners, if you have anything else to add about the Ice Cream Man that you want to share with us, let us know. Find us on social media at How I Met Your Monster, on Twitter at I Met Your Monster. Where can our listeners find you guys on social media?
I'm on Instagram at WolfMotherCasey.
Awesome. Brooke?
I'm on Instagram at Brooke Surgener, but you can find me also on YouTube at Brooke Surgener. And Spotify.
Awesome.
At Brooke Surgener.
And Spotify. And TikTok.
Actually at I'm Brooke Ashley. I think that's my TikTok.
Okay.
Switching it up.
Your alter ego.
I mean, I am Brooke Ashley. Yes, yeah.
You are Brooke Ashley.
I am.
Danny?
You can find me on Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads. I'm the only surviving user of Threads. You can find me by my name, Danny Salem. Danny spelled Danny, last name Salemme. That's 2 M's like the candy. Melt in your butt, not in your hands.
Wonderful. And you can find me on social media at Zach Winsick. Make sure to join us for our third feature in our Hunger Pains triple feature.
I'm so hungry.
The silence of the lambs.
Yes, we'll be watching The Cable Guy.
I was hoping that somebody would fucking get what I was doing. I love Clarion. I was good to say it again with the chicken skin. Anyway.
Yeah. But
he is
we
a
are
monster,
watching
though.
Silence of the Lambs. And we should. Actually, we should. But we will be finally meeting Hannibal Lecter, which it seems like we should have met him by now.
Yeah.
We are on episode 90. So make sure to follow us on social media. Find us on all your podcast platforms. so you never miss an episode. Brooke, thank you again for joining us. It's always great to have you on the show. And
Thanks for having me back.
I hope you come back again.
Would love to.
Thank you all for listening. Now go meet some monsters.